What's happening, everyone? Today is June 5th, excuse me, of 2016. It is time to shave. I've got 4 days growth here. I've got a lot of hair, so we're going to use things that are up to the task. Today's brush is going to be, soaking in this glorious mug, is a Morrison Forndran 2XL in a jade handle. Good looking little brush. It's a finest. And it's more dome or bulb shaped, excuse me, than most of my other brushes, but it's a good one. It's pretty good. It's pretty good at the end of the day. Today's soap is going to be Barrister and Mann Diamond, and it's time to get some soap on this in this brush. It's starting to rain outside again. It's been raining off and on today. It's been a pretty rainy day. It's been some time since I used this soap. Smells just as good as I remember, too. Oh man. So I'm pretty starving right about now, and I really want to make this a quick shave, but I know better than that. Got a lot of soap in this thing, and this is something that, for those of you that really don't have a lot of dense brushes, this is one of the best things that you can do is load this brush. You've got to, if you've got a very high density brush, then you're going to need to do some high density loading. It's pretty much all there is to it. Do not be shy. Do not be shy about going through soap with a brush like this. But yeah, so I've got a lot of growth, and I want a brush that will be able to find its way through these hairs. This brush has a ton of backbone and a lot of scrub. This brush has been around the block, so to speak. I know a lot of people that have had this brush, and I do not think that it's going to be leaving my place anytime soon. This is a fantastic little brush. And I say little because the handle on these old school 1 and 2 ring Morris Forndrans are tiny. But that's not the worst thing in the world, because it gets your hand very close to this exceptionally dense knot of hair, which lets you really control exactly where this thing goes. Nothing approaching scratch with this brush, just a very good scrub, and that's the kind of brush I like. Put a bit more water in this jerk. Work this in for a bit more. I love the way this brush feels. If I could, I'd get one of these old school 2-ring finest with in every possible handle, but that would be an expensive proposition. So I don't think I'm going to be doing that anytime in the immediate future. All right. It's very good. For those of you that missed out on this soap, I'll tell you about it here in a second. But today's razor, to deal with all this growth, I haven't used this razor in ages. Above the tie, H2, with its formidable, serious, mega blade gap, and Gillette Silver Blue on a Magret MR5 handle. This is my favorite handle to use with this head. I don't know why, but it works. So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I'm starving, but I am not going to rush this razor along. Because even though it's not as bitey as an R41, it is super efficient, but I am not going to rush this razor in doing its thing. And I do not think, actually I know I'm not going to buff with this razor, so I may have to do a razor switch. We'll see. We will see. There were fights last night. Had every intention of watching them, but I fell asleep really early last night, which I guess was necessary. Man, it's raining for real outside right about now. There were fights last night. UFC 199. Two titles were contested. The men's bantamweight betwixt Dominic Cruz and Uriah Faber, and the middleweight championship between Luke Rockhold and last-minute replacement Michael Bisping. Let's go ahead and get the terribleness out of the way. Michael Bisping is your middleweight champion. I don't like that guy one bit at all. Never have, never will. You know, I've read a lot of people saying that they're happy that Luke lost. Luke Rockhold is not too terribly keen on losing, because that's just one of those guys. Michael Bisping is one of those guys you don't want to lose to. And man, do I ever hate it for Luke Rockhold, because he has. He's even beat him once before. And yeah. Man, I don't know if you guys can hear this rain, but this is for real. I'd say this qualifies as torrential. Torrents and torrents of rain. Anyway, yeah, Michael Bisping is not one of those guys that you want to lose to. And, man, I hate it for Luke, because he did lose to that clown. Look at all of this hair. That's nasty, I know it is, but damn. This thing is getting the job done. I'm scared of this razor. I don't like using it too much, because it's very easy for this thing to shave epidermis in addition to hair. Actually, this thing can dig into the dermis, straight up. So yeah, Luke Rockhold lost to Michael Bisping. I think the chatter is that Jacare is going to be getting Bisping first. And I don't see Bisping making it out of that fight with his title. Jacare is an animal, straight up. Love that guy. I'm a man of grappling, namely jiu-jitsu. And man, that guy is something else on the ground. So we'll see. I don't think this is a particularly good matchup for Bisping. Bisping's takedown defense is not the worst on earth, but Jacare doesn't use just wrestling to get people down. Wow. 2 passes with the buffing at the end of the second pass, and this is smooth as glass. That's crazy. And the reason I said I didn't want to buff with this razor is because of that blade gap, thinking that I'd get like the lip meat right here. But man, thank you for being half decent and kind and not so bloodthirsty. Actually, not bloodthirsty at all. You know, I'm really falling for these above the ties again after months and months and months of pretty much being exclusive with my Wolfmans. It's nice to use these above the ties and they still rule. Now, don't get me wrong, I still prefer my Wolfman razors, and if I had to have one razor for the rest of my life, it would still be the BVS one. Don't see that changing anytime soon. But, yeah, I'm glad these razors still do the thing. Also, speaking of razors, there's a new entrant in the high-end stainless steel razor category. Something called timeless razors. Don't know if you guys are familiar with them. But I'll put a link in the description of the video so you guys can have a look if you'd like. There is a pretty substantial, there's a pretty substantial price difference between the open comb and the safety bar razors, which I'm finding a little weird. But if it's worth it, it's worth it, you know? Dudes from the Timeless Razor Company, if you're seeing this video, which I doubt, but if you are, I would love to have a go with the razor. And compare it, see how it does compared to the rest of my razors. This brush, man. This brush rules so hard. Cruising along here. Man, I don't know what it is. Perhaps I forgot how mutant my skin really is. But I've discovered that first pass that I do on my neck is pretty much across the grain. Excuse me. And that pass that I just did, going from the outside in on each of my necks, is against the grain. I mean, I'm not bleeding. So I can go across the grain and against the grain with confidence, with pretty much every razor I own. That's a little insane. I don't know if that's more to do with the blades, or the razors, or my skin, or just that my technique has gotten better over these past 3 years or so. But that's wild. Movement Festival, the DMF, the festival, the one that I was at last weekend, was once again a huge success for the city of Detroit and for Paxahau. Paxahau, of course, being the people that organize and put on the festival. This was the 10-year anniversary of them taking the helm of the festival. I think it was called Fuse In. The festival's gone through numerous names over the years. First time that it was held was in 2000. If I remember correctly, Fuse In was the name of the first festival. But Paxahau took it over in 06. Named it to Movement again, which was the name of the festival when Derek May put it on in 2003 out of his own money. He paid for that festival in 2003 out of his own pocket. I was reading somewhere, there's been a lot of press this year for some reason. I think it's probably because Kraftwerk was playing, and because it was the 10-year anniversary. But there's been a lot of press about the festival this year. And I ran across an article on The Verge talking about the festival, and somebody made a comment talking about how they didn't like the attitude of the festival ever since the name became Movement, and that just really rubbed me the wrong way, because something tells me this person probably wasn't there in 2003 when Derek May was riding around in a golf cart asking for donations to offset the cost of the festival that he put on for the entire world. But anyway, there's been a lot of positive press about the festival this year. Lots of nice write-ups, lots of people having good things to say about the festival and the city in general. Warmed my heart, as I am very much you guys know, I like that place. Second favorite city on earth. So yeah, looking forward to next year. It's going to be a good one as soon as the hotel is available, as soon as tickets are available, and as soon as I can book a flight, I'm there. 1 second. Excellent little shave. The size of this handle just keeps on making me think that this is a small brush, even though it really isn't. It's about a 50mm loft or so. But, I mean, even after all that, I still have this much lather left in the brush. This thing holds a lot of, it holds a lot of lather. That popcorn and caramel are coming through big time there. It's great soap, Will. Today's aftershave is going to be Mickey Lee Soapworks Reunion. Shake it up a bit. Shake it up. Oh man, I'm starving. No idea what to eat. Whatever I eat, it's not really gonna be in front of me too long before it's in my belly. Yep, this is nice after the diamond, as I figured it would be. And that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you've been well. Hope you'll be well. I'll see you probably next week when I record the next video. And be easy. Speak to you guys soon. Peace.